in China and India in that Kashmir region where it's actually China, India, Pakistan as well, right? The area is called Ladakh. There it is. See it? So now there's more coming out of Kashmir. I want to show you something. Take a look at this video. See that right there? That's a car bomb being exploded by Indian security forces right in the heart of Kashmir. If they hadn't found that, if they hadn't detected that, it would have gone off and people would have died, many, and it would have been quite an incident. Thank God the police detected it, were able to stamp it out. 40 kilograms were identified and the was neutralized in the car. That's the police jargon for they were able to blow it up. What was this car doing there, though? Why was it there? I mean, we know the region's at near boiling point already between this feud between China and India, where the Chinese have sent 800 to 1,000 soldiers into India, and they're not just sending them there, they're camping them out there. But is there something else going on now that would push Pakistan into this conflict? So again, you got China, you got Pakistan, you got India, and then you got the Kashmir region, which in and of itself is serious and fertile ground for confrontations. All right, let's go to Michael Maloof now, who's a former Pentagon official. He's known for years that this is one of those areas that could become a real problem. Michael, would you help us at least try to understand how these three forces come together and what the fear should be for the world, if not us here in the United States?
Well, the area has, well, thanks for having me on, but the area has been in contention for quite some time, for years and years, between India, Pakistan, and as well as China. It's all disputed area. In Kashmir, it's predominantly Muslim, and it's for that reason that Pakistan has always weighed in, and that's why we're thinking that we're seeing now once again that Islamic groups to cause greater tensions in the region. First of all, and Pakistan appears to be still behind it with China's blessing, which is intriguing. And you have China and Pakistan working together to regain some of the disputed territories, which has been under administration of India for years and years.
But let me,
India last.
I'm sorry, I was just thinking as you were saying that for the sake of the viewer, pardon me for interrupting you. So you have India, you have China, and you have Pakistan. And we're really forgetting the fourth element here, which is our country, the United States. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, but the United States, at this point, at least the rhetoric I'm hearing from our State Department is, we will do anything to hurt or bury China in any way we can. Thereby, if this were a chess match, I would put that right on the side of India, correct? So the United States and India are teaming up against China, which is aligned with Pakistan.
Well, that is correct. But right now, politically, it appears that the United States doesn't want to take any precipitous action against Pakistan, knowing that it's sponsoring these terrorist groups under their intelligence services, the ISI. Why? Because Pakistan is delivering the Taliban to the table to work out a negotiated settlement in Afghanistan. And the United States does not want to do anything, for now, that's going to upset that apple cart. So India is always on alert. They apparently have very good intelligence against these kinds of intrusions and sabotage attempts, like you just witnessed with the IED. They were able to catch it in time.
So let's talk a minute about what's going on. And I think sometimes it's better if we just go to the map and we're able to show it so people can actually see the borders. There you have parts of Pakistan. Down here you have this region of India right here behind my hand. And then you have China across this border right here. And this is the area where the Chinese troops have, for some reason, taken it upon themselves to go into India, 1,000 of them, and they've set up encampments. We've been trying to figure this out all week. There we see it. I don't know if you can see your TV, but there they are. They're hard. Yeah. They're on the ground. They've got encampments there. Why would they do that?
Well, they're also taking advantage of their situation. Again, it's a disputed area. The Chinese are on the move. There's no question about it. From Hong Kong to Taiwan to the East and South China Seas, we see a much more aggressive Communist Party on the move right now. And this is one of those disputed areas, and it's been in dispute for years between China and India.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and India, by the way, is so preoccupied with trying to deal with its own coronavirus problem. Pakistan probably felt this was a good time to make a move, and China is doing the same thing.
But it's okay. So this has been disputed since 1947, right after World War II. But it wasn't.
Yeah, yeah,
it hasn't been since like the middle of the 1990s that we've actually seen this kind of conflictive situation between these countries. First of all, why is this territory still disputed? And what does that mean? Who gets to administrate it? Is it India in this region? It is, right?
Yeah, India is administering it, but the population, majority of the population has shifted over time to predominantly Muslim in the Kashmir area. And they want to go with Pakistan. And Pakistan wants them. China has its own interests up further north, as you point out on the map. And that's also disputed between them and India. And I don't see this thing getting out of control, but they're going to try to, they do this every once in a while. And Pakistan continues to use its leverage and control over terrorist groups to try and upset India and try to come to better terms. Now, India last year took some drastic action inside of Kashmir, Jammu, and limited further their civil rights and their liberties within those provinces, and they were very upset about that. So they actually, India itself is actually in violation of its own constitution.
Final question. Is India going into, pardon me, is China being aggressive with India because it hates Modi, who is a friend of Donald Trump? Is this new, this antipathy between India and China?
No, it goes way back. In fact, they actually had a military conflict. I think it was in '62, predominantly over basically the same territory.
Right.
There's also question over Tibet. So no, this thing goes on perennially. They both have troops massed on either side, and it doesn't look like there's an end to it, even though the UN is trying to do something, but no one, they want to be doing things on a bilateral basis.
So many players, so many problems, so many interests, such a conflict. Mike Maloof, as usual, thanks for being our expert. Thanks for taking us through this complicated situation in this